All right, y'all, hold on. This is the first in the history of polymac particles. This has never happened before. I'm still taking notes, Tony. Let me finish my final thought here. I swear to God, give me like 5 seconds. Tony, entertain the masses while I get this final note out. Hold on. Go ahead. Say hello, T.
Let me clear my throat!
Oh, no, please, God, help me.
Yeah.
Nothing easy. Nothing easy.
I don't know if we'll have enough time.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm good. I'm done. I'm ready to go. Hi, everybody. How we doing today? Creative Tony, welcome back to Polymac Particles. All of y'all over there in the comments line, hope you had a great weekend. T, I'm going to start with you. How was your weekend, my friend? We got a lot to get into today. I'll set the table in a second, but some pleasantries to get started.
Oh, dude, great weekend, man. Lots of fun and frivolity. Was in Alameda yesterday with some friends, and then we had a baseball
That's the home
scrimmage.
of Tom Tolbert, I believe.
What's that?
Isn't that the home of Tom Tolbert?
Yes. And Ray Ratto also.
And Ray Ratto, and shout out Janet Magleby, former promotion director. She's really good at what she does, so you got to get rid of her. Anybody, if you're really good at what you do, you're going to get dismissed at some point. Just know that. So Janet Magleby, we got Ray Ratto, we got Tolbert, and now Creative Tony over to Alameda. How was your experience in Alameda, Tony?
I love Alameda. I just don't like Alameda. I love Alameda. We talk about vibes. It's all about the vibe in Alameda is so thick and so strong and so wonderful and so right down my lane. So I love Alameda. Also spent some time in Danville on Saturday. Shout out Jackie Riberon, my friend Joe's son, graduated San Ramon Valley High School and on his way to be a whiskey badger, a Wisconsin Badger. So I went to their graduation party on Saturday, and just a great weekend overall. My wife Megan's birthday, we celebrated it as well. So good stuff all around. I know you gigged. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. We had baseball on Saturday. My son's all-star team getting going. So, busy weekend but still a great weekend also.
You're a busy bee, Tony. What can you do? You're buzzing around the hive. You're a busy bee. Now, a couple quick things about Alameda real quick. One, I want to shout out old school. I'm talking like 70s, 80s. When you would see a Raider game, you would see an Oakland A's game. They would say, like, we're live at the Oakland Alameda County College. Yeah. They used to get Alameda in the mix when they would name the name of the stadium on TV, or when they would shout it out, rather. And so I kind of yearn for those days when Alameda had the marquee billing also right alongside Oakland. And then number two, Tony, about Alameda, final thing on Alameda. Tony, do they have a Longbridge pizza in Alameda? That's my question.
No, but there should be. There should be a Longbridge everywhere on all points of in all 9 Bay Area counties, possibly, if they could do it, Neil. But I also want to shout out the San Francisco ferry. We took the ferry. We took the bikes onto the ferry. We took the ferry over from San Francisco over to Alameda. Just a wonderful experience. I highly recommend jumping on that ferry and going all over the bay. It's great.
The way you're saying ferry reminds me of another great thing. How about if I just drop a ferries wear boots, and you got to believe me, ferries wear boots, Tony.
Yeah, well, I won't be as predictable if you want to just give some love to Brian Ferry while we're at it. If you're going to talk ferries wear boots and ferry. Okay.
Outstanding. I couldn't have come up with that one myself. Outstanding. All right, now I mentioned Longbridge Pizza. Let's dive in, then we're going to set the table. Longbridge Pizza, delivering the goods right here in San Francisco in Dogpatch, 2347 3rd Street, right up the street from Chase Center. Stop on by there. In fact, Tony, I know for a fact, after the gig I played at the Water Bar this weekend, I think a lot of those guys went over to Longbridge after the show, grabbed some pizza, enjoyed themselves. I think a couple of people hit it beforehand, too. And I want to thank everybody for coming out. I'll get to that in a second, too. But in the meantime, have you joined the Vibe Tribe? If you haven't been down there yet, you're going to want to be a part of this. It's they really have set up this great kind of scene at Longbridge Pizza. We talk about the sourdough crust. We talk about the Polymac pizza. Great sandwiches that they offer, the Vinny's Gabagool with the cold cuts stacked up like a mile high. Then you got my personal favorite, Chicken Parm Wednesday. I'll be in Wednesday to grab one of those this week, as a matter of fact. I'm not playing games. I'm going right in. So I look forward to seeing Neil Donardi, who is the gentleman running the place. He's a South City guy, and he treats everybody who walks in like family, Tony. So get on down to Longbridge Pizza. You guys will see what we've been raving about. It's great food. It's a great environment. All the games in the back room, screens are all over the place, and they have a back room that can accommodate crowds and groups. Little group settings like a Polymac Particle opening day party, stuff like that. Creative Tony, couple thoughts from you, and then we're going to set the table today, buddy.
Dude, you hit it on the nail where Neil treats people like family. It's so true. I hung out with some of his buddies at the Goose Show, and that's exactly what they talked about Neil and how he treats people like family. And also, Neil's not there all the time, but when he is, you're stoked. But then you've got Andre, you got Steven, you got Emmanuel. All these guys that are there at Longbridge, and they're creating the family vibe with you. I'm taking our Little League baseball team next Thursday for the Giants day game when the Giants get back from this roadie. We're going, and we talk about bringing private parties or special events. They can do that at Longbridge as well. So if you're going to a game, go to Longbridge before or after a game at Chase Center or a concert at Chase Center or a game at Oracle Park. Go to Longbridge before or after. And then what we're talking about, the private parties too.
Yeah.
Go get involved. Bring your crew, bring your group to Longbridge, and they will take great care of you. And finally, Paulie, I've got just a little bit of pizza porn from our guy Ray, just to show you what they got involved in Longbridge. I think after your gig on Saturday, they went to Longbridge and they got a mushroom gluten-free. Check this out. Mushroom gluten-free pizza right there. And gotta get the banner off.
You got the logo there. Yeah. I can see a little bit. There we go. Oh, look. Wow. What is that?
That is a gluten-free mushroom pie from Longbridge Pizza. They will hook you up, man. See, they'll take care of you. There, and there's the Paulie stash. You see the box right there?
I do.
All the spices, and you just open up the box and there's the spices right there. So Ray, thank you for the pizza porn. There's a close-up of the mushroom gluten-free.
Absolutely. Rock and roll, man. That's a nice looking slab of pizza right there, man. So you know what? Let me do this, Tony. I just want to thank a few people, and then we'll set the table because we got a bunch of stuff we want to hit today. I just would like to say, Tony, for starters, thanks to everybody for coming out Saturday. That was really cool of all of you to stop by. Just some quick thank you, some quick shout outs. Actually, Tony, you know what's funny? When we were setting up the gear before the gig even started, you know who came rolling by, dude, just to say hello? Scarlet Fire, Bonnie. She just came rolling up. Yeah. And she was wearing her PMP shirt. Dude, a lot of PMP shirts in the house at the gig. Yeah. So Bonnie was rocking the thing. And she was like, do you remember me? I'm like, of course I remember you. What's up, Bonnie? Scarlet Fire. So I gave her a hug. And then she was like, I can't stay, but I did want to come by and say hello. So I got her before the show. And then, Tony, we started playing at noon. 2 sets we did, bro. We did 2 sets at Water Bar in San Francisco. And it sounds like there'll be more gigs coming up, so more chances to come on down and hang out. But the community came, dude. The community was represented. Tony, let me give you some names, a little roll call. Started out with Patty from Napa, OG original gangster, just always supporting the show. How about Karen Bell, dude, the mysterious Karen Bell with the red glasses? She was in the house. Did you
play Ring My Bell for Karen Bell when she walked in?
Tony, thank you, though. No, I didn't. Lily Merchant was there also with a couple of friends. Shout out to Mo, and I'm forgetting the third, but Lily Merchant, Mo, and then another charming young lady was there.
Then coffee rolls strong.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, the first time I met them at Longbridge, I'm like, these three are gangsters right here. These guys are gangsters. They just posted up near the front door. I could tell there was a whole vibe going on. But Lily she is just, thanks for the support, Lily. You've been phenomenal. Really, I really appreciate it. Dom Peralta, naturally, he's in the house. And how about this one, Tony? Sanchi, dude. Sanchi and I had a really cool conversation.
Rules.
He does. He stopped by at set break, and we were rapping about he was like very much appreciative of like the community that's formed here. And Saturday was more evidence of that. Just people coming out to like support the show and hang out with each other. Then he talked a little bit of Grateful Dead. He grew up in Stinson Beach. So Sanchi, I enjoyed the conversation, man. That was really cool. And we had a great time. Tony, we had a great time. Played 2 sets. Want to thank Pete Sitnick down at Water Bar for having us. I think everybody had a good time. I know. Oh, hello. What am I doing? I'm forgetting Noemi. Hello, Noemi. Noemi was there, of course. And Ray Goodman, dude. Ray Goodman, it gives the MVP Gold Star PMP community member of the day. Not only, Tony, did he sit in for most of the second set with some guitar playing, with some background vocals, which was awesome. Thank you, Ray Goodman. And also Ray let us use his PA because they didn't have a PA at Water Bar. So, Ray, I appreciate that so much, man. Thank you. Hey, Lily, how you doing today? And I just want to say thank you to all you guys. You were great. I really enjoyed hanging out, and it was really nice to see you. Scarlet Fire, don't even worry about it. You come to the next one. We'll hang out. It was nice to see you. There was a great effort just to come say hello. So, Tony, it was great. We had a great day out there, buddy.
I'm really sorry I missed it. Stand by. I'd be remiss if we didn't wish our boy Dom a happy belated birthday. We forgot to do it on Friday. We did it all over text messages privately, but we didn't do it publicly on Friday. And so I know we both wanted to do that today to just wish Dom. I hope you had a wonderful birthday weekend, Dom. We love you. Thanks for the support, my man, and all the help behind the scenes. And then also, you talked about Sanchi. Okay,
yeah.
You want to know here? You want to? This is I'm going to give you a quick demonstration. This will be a little demonstration of how
This will be a little demonstration of that. Hitting his head with a sneaker, Tony. Hitting his head with a van. Yeah.
This is how Sanchi rules. Sanchi sent this to us last week, and I've been wanting to get this on the show. So here's my opportunity to look at this.
Go.
Oh, what happened? Oh, get out of here with this. Get out of here with this. I apologize. What
the hell?
Dude, that stinks because I watched that video 10 times, no ads. Of course, an ad pops up while we're watching it.
That was playing Careless Whisper. Is that what was going on? Okay. Yeah.
Playing Careless Whisper. That's what it was. Sanchi, thank you for the video. By the way, email us pollyspod@gmail.com. Send any of that stuff. I'll try to avoid pop-up video or pop-up ads, but you never can tell. So,
dude, that's, you know what? Shout out to that saxophone line in Careless Whisper. It's actually pretty badass. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hey, Tony, speaking of the community, speaking of all our cool people to hang out, and I'm so glad you guys really do feel like it's a community because that's what we've been trying to do, and we really appreciate you guys very much. Tony, I want to make sure that we get to the Metallica winner today. We can do that a little bit later on, but just don't let me forget. Don't let me end the show without giving those tickets away because I
promise you I won't forget. They won't let us forget either because I'm jacked about this giveaway, and I know our listeners and viewers are too. So we'll definitely get to it later on in the show. But yes, Paulie, we have a winner.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for that. And then we have 2 more pairs to give away. Correct?
That's right. Yeah, the generosity continues later in the week. We'll have another pair of Metallica tickets to give away for the Levi Stadium show Sunday, June 22nd, which is, Tony, newsflash, bro, that's 13 days away. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know. So start stretching out, dude. Stretch your hammies. Make sure you can endure the intensity of a full-scale Metallica gig. And Tony, you're going to be blown away, brother. You are going to be blown away because I saw this tour in Detroit a couple of years ago, and it's the staging and the kind of visuals that they provide. It's extraordinary. Really, they do an amazing job, and not to mention the musicianship on the stage is like. It's like off the charts. I mean, these guys are ferocious players.
Yes, dude. I cannot wait because I remember seeing them with you at the Fox Theater in Oakland, just being like, these guys are they're musical athletes. I remember talking to you about this because they play with such precision that just you have to be athletic. I'm like, their forearms must be burning playing those notes so quickly. And then Lars on the kit too, and then you've got Trujillo. I want to know if Trujillo can do the splits. If Robert Trujillo can actually
that little spider walk thing where he's like creeping around the crab walk and shit. Like he'll just go up to dudes too when the jam gets going. Like he'll crab walk over to Hetfield and just look at him and lock in, dude. It's kill. You know what I mean? I love that.
I wonder if Metallica. I doubt. Well, I don't know, but they've done the national anthem a few times at Giants games, and I'd love to see them do it again because they're fantastic when they do the anthem, and they're local. So I just wonder if while they're in town, they might stop by Oracle Park. I don't know because the Giants are home next weekend.
Couple of quick comments, Tony. I wanted to say that about the athleticism that you were talking about. My friend Vicky told me that before every single gig, Lars Ulrich has to have a physical therapist and a trainer like work on him, stretch him out, get his net. Like he has to get worked on before the gig and then again after the gig. So it's a pretty intense kind of music to play when you're like in your 60s, dude. It's not easy.
Hey, Paulie, can we announce the winner now? Because the particles are flying right now on the show. Yeah. And I just saw something, and this is wild because the winner of last week's pair of tickets on Friday, just put in the chat that he lost his grandfather over the weekend. And so I saw that and I said, you know what? I think instead of making him wait most of the episode, I think we should let him know that Escobar III, congratulations, my man. You have won a pair of tickets for the Metallica show on June 22nd. We are very sorry for your loss about your grandfather. Yeah. I was very tight with both of my grandfathers. I make sure that my kids are very tight with both of their grandfathers. So I my heart goes out to you, but maybe this will help ease the pain. You can put that, you can X Sunday 22nd. You're booked. You're booked on the 22nd, buddy.
Congratulations, Escobar. I'm glad you got look at him right there. Let's effing go. Thank you so much. Hey, you're very welcome, Escobar. Thank you for supporting the show and being around all the time. We appreciate you. And you enjoy the gig, man. Enjoy the gig. Okay. Your tickets will be at will call. That's just, if I haven't said that enough, all of the winners You can just go with your photo ID and pick up at will call the day of the gig. And again, just a reminder, when you do send in your submissions to win this week, again, we need phone number, name, and address and email. So just in case they need to. Yeah,
I'll follow up with Escobar, but it's also he was the first one to email in, and it was like, okay, dude, that boom, congratulations. And then I see him posting that on the chat. I'm like, oh, we got to spread the love immediately. So congratulations, Escobar, and man, now get me to that show, get me to those shows, dude.
Well, you're going Friday too. We got access to both gigs, so Tony and I will be at the Friday show as well. And if any of you will be, definitely let us know. We're going to hang out, but then all of us will be hanging out on Sunday. And I guess the week of the gigs, Tony, we can organize like a little tailgate hang. We'll figure it out, and we'll tell everybody where we're going to be. Tony, I know one of your favorite sayings. We can just drop a pin in it. You know what I mean? We'll drop a pin. I'm sick of that. Hey, just drop a pin. I'm like, why don't you guys drop double guns instead? How's that sound? Okay, so
Paulie, that weekend will be electric, man. The Red Sox will be in town playing the Giants.
Great
Metallica, the Metallica will be at Levi's. My son's All-Star tournament starts on Saturday the 21st. So it's
you're going to be in rough shape at that one, brother.
I know,
you're going to be limping.
How about this 10 a.m. first pitch?
I've done shit like that. It's brutal. It's effing brutal. Tony, are you coaching?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing to yourself, bro? You want to get off the freaking roller coaster for a minute? Why don't you just go be a dad? You don't have to coach every single freaking team, do you?
I get asked and I can't say no. I have a problem saying no. I really do. And when they ask, because I do love coaching, but I did tell my son and my daughter, when they're done at a certain age, I'm done. When they like after Little League, I'm done coaching my son.
Yeah.
After my daughter's done 8th grade hoops, I'm done coaching her. So
unless the San Francisco 49ers call you and say, hey, Tony, we need a new defensive secondary coach. And that being said, your thoughts on the rumor mill going around with your boy from Green Bay and the Niners are looking.
I want to welcome Pib Ford as the newest PMP VIP. Pib, welcome on board. Bring that logo to the PMP vibes, the VIP vibes. That logo I freaking love, man. So welcome, Pib.
I got to interrupt myself, Tony, if you don't mind for a second. And sorry about this, but Pib Ford, I've been waiting to see you again because here's what I remember about Pib Ford. The first night he checked in, he was like, hey, you guys, my name is Pib Ford. And he goes, I'm an Edmonton Oilers fan. And I was like, beautiful. Right. Let's talk Grant Fuhr. Let's talk Paul Coffey, Gretzky, Messier, on and on and on it goes. Sure, we'll throw some Connor McDavid in the mix too. But I got to tell you, Pib Ford, this Stanley Cup Final Series, outstanding. I'll tell you right now, you don't even have to be a hockey fan to get into what's happening. Game 3 is tonight, actually, down in Florida. And dude, the first night, or game 1 rather, was a classic. Game 2 on Friday. Tony, did you happen to check any of that? Did you see what happened Friday?
I did not. I did not. Yeah,
let me break it down real quick because this was the hockey at its best. It's like such an unbelievable game. Game 2 was Friday night. Florida's winning by 1 goal, Tony. 30 seconds left in the game. Bam, the Oilers tie it. It was mayhem.
Wow.
Absolutely. It was kind of like the scene outside of Madison Square Garden during those early Knicks rounds, which, by the way, what a bad look that is, dude. They're having street parties. They're crowd surfing in the second round. Now they're home watching the finals. So we're going to get to that, too. But anyway, Pib Ford, congrats on your Oilers, dude. Lot of hockey left. Don't worry about game 2. So anyway, Tony, it went to double overtime, and Florida got the win. So that's like playing 5 periods of hockey. That's no easy task. So they regroup, they go down to Florida, and Pib Ford, I'm glad you're a VIP. Welcome aboard, brother. Stanley Cup Finals, game 3.
What's that series at? Right, what's the finals at right now? Who's up, or is it tied?
It's tied 1-1. Yeah,
1-1. Okay. But just like Oklahoma City and Indiana, and Oklahoma City made a statement yesterday, dude. They just said, okay,
all
right.
Yeah. Enough of this nonsense. Hey, Halliburton, it's funny. I didn't see any choke signs at this game. That was odd. What happened? Oh, and hey, Halliburton, 3/4 of an NBA final game, and you're good for what? 5 points, dude? Do you want to be running around like a jackass with your dad on the court, like yelling at Giannis? Dude, you better back that shit up. And he did not back that shit up. I thought he played a horrible game. He got 12 additional points, Tony, during garbage time in the 4th quarter.
Right.
No, but he was a non-factor. He was non-existent all night. Now they go back to Indiana 1-1. So that's the thing with me, dude. If you're gonna do all the antics and all the BS and run around and taunt your opponents, dude, you better show up. Same thing with Anthony Edwards. You better freaking show up, and he did not. So funny, I didn't see any choke signs last night, Tony. But I expected the Thunder to put their foot down, like you said, and they did.
And dude, we're going to get to the bracket later on in the show, but man, this makes game 3 very, very important because if Indiana goes up, 2-1, and they have another game at home right after that, oh boy. So again, I'm not saying that there's pressure on the Thunder, but I'm sure they would love to get game 3 and put all the pressure on Indiana because I found myself rooting for Indiana, but I'm definitely not down with Halliburton. But again, whoever wins the rebound battle seems to win at least the first 2 games because Oklahoma City out rebounded Indiana last night, the 43-35. So they win the ball game. If you look at the stat line, it's really weird. The stats are almost identical down the columns, but OKC had a great second quarter, and they never were. First, they opened the game on fire, and then they had a great second quarter, and they weren't. Indiana could never catch up. So game 3 is going to be interesting, dude. Wednesday.
I look forward to it. I hope it's a great game. And, it's funny. I'm glad you mentioned the rebounds, Tony, because that's such a big part of the game that doesn't really get tough. By the way, dude, Candlestick Kid, Halliburton choked himself. Very nice, dude. Very nice. I like that. No, the rebounding. See, I feel like the Golden State Warriors could use that actually, just a rebounding specialist, a guy who's that's his job. Go out there, get in the paint, throw some elbows around, grab some loose balls, and let's keep possession of the basketball. Because OKC plays such good defense, dude. They were stripping the ball out of Indiana's hands all night. It happened to a bunch of guys last night. But I feel like that's why somebody like Dennis Rodman, I always enjoyed. He was a rebounding specialist, and he's in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was his job. He would give you 18 boards a night. It was crazy.
Dude, it's Steve Adams. That's why bring Steve Adams on a 1-year deal. Just bring him over. Bring him over. Just please. I would love that. Wouldn't you love to see Steve Adams in the blue and gold?
Sure. He's getting on there in age a little bit. So
1 year. Just give me 1 year. Steve, just give me 1 year. Because how many years do we have of quality Steph do we have left? I mean, how many could you guess, Paulie? Because LeBron played at 40 years old, and he was good. He was very, very good, but he's not LeBron of 32 years old or whatever. But I feel like Steph, we'll get him till he's 40. And what's Steph, 37 right now? So this is the window, man. And this is kind of like these freaking Giants, dude. That Logan Webb's window is not going to be forever. This pitching window is not going to be forever, dude. And I crunched some numbers, Paulie.
I always associate Tony with math, numbers, any kind of numerical equation. Tony's good for a good answer. Certainly better than me, bro. I was so bad at math. Let me throw this out here. Let me just entertain the masses with this little nugget. I was such a loser, and I still am, dude. The only thing I can do is add and subtract a tiny bit of division, and then I'm on my own. I don't know I'm lost in the woods. Tony, I had to go to ready for his homes. When I was a freshman in high school, modified math, bro.
Nice.
Modified math.
Nice.
But then I go to the classroom and Winks and Rags. I see you guys. Just a couple names you guys will appreciate, dude. George Clark. Okay, in my modified math class, this guy was a terror, bro. You don't want any part of George Clark. So George Clark was, and these guys were older than me. There was a bunch of sophomores. I'm like, wow, these guys must be dumber than I am if they're in modified math as sophomores. Anyway. I'm no mathematician, but Tony, give me your number crunching. I'm all ears.
I'm not a big number cruncher for other sports, but for baseball, I do like to get inside the numbers, man. So first of all, let me just give you Robbie Ray. Let me give you ERAs for certain Giants pitchers. 2.44 Robbie Ray. Webb 2.58. Excuse me. Landon Roop 3.29. Birdsong, who struggled on Friday night. He had 5 walks in 4 innings. I liked how Melvin yanked him. That was good. I liked that.
Yeah, me too, actually. Yeah,
I liked that. I mean, the kid's learning. He's kind of, he's learning. He's finding his way. Finding my way back to you. Finding my way. What? That's not.
I'll be working my way back to you, babe, with a burning love inside. While you're thinking about Rush, finding my way. I've been gone. First album, Rush, finding my way. Winks, I know you like that one, bro.
There's also, I think it's a Foo Fighters song, "Finding My Way Back to You." I think it's a Foo Fighters song. Anyways,
Jefferson Starship, "Find Your Way Back." Find your way back. Find your way back. That's a great song. Find your way back.
So Birdsong 2.55 ERA. Dude, Tyler Rogers 1.48. Doval 1.50. Eric Miller, underrated Eric Miller, Stanford Cardinal product. 1.25 ERA. And then Randy of the freaking Redwoods, Randy Rodriguez, 0.61 ERA. Dude. Okay, so here's the thing, Paulie. with those numbers, it's outrageous. They're ridiculous, dude. Since May 16th, the Giants beat the A's 9-1 on May 16th. Okay, they beat Sacktown's Oakland A's. Okay, 9-1.
Sacramento's own swinging A's. Right. Tony, you don't even say Sacramento without talking A's ball. Okay,
dude. By the way, Carlos Correa came out and said flat out, "I am not sacrificing my body and basically maybe getting hurt for the rest of the season on this field." Because of 2 games I have to play on this field, because he was not happy about the conditions.
The fact that Manfred has allowed this to actually happen, I think is disgraceful. I really do. I think it's disgraceful. There's no way to defend it. But finish your thought, Tony. Sorry.
And also, this is nothing against the Sacramento River Cats and that field. That is it's a good minor league park. Right. Minor league park. That's what it is. So shout out guys last dive bar too. I've been following them all weekend and they're just like, this is such a joke. Mark Graves, thank you for the super brother. $2. Thank you. If Giants scored 4 runs every game, the record would be 53-14, right? So check this out. Since May 16th, the Giants have gone 12-9. So starting May 17th, they've gone 12-9, 21 games, 12-9. They've scored 56 runs in those 21 games. That equals 2.66 runs a game. That's not going to cut it. The only reason that they're 12-9 in those 21 games is the Giants staff has only allowed 53 runs.
There you go.
Which is filthy dirty, dude. And the Giants, they're second in MLB in ERA at 3.04. They've also given up the fewest home runs in baseball at 44 home runs. The Mets have given up 46. So, dude, I'm just saying the bats are starting to percolate a little bit. You know, Chapman with the walk-off home run on Saturday, and what did they score in the last 3 games? What was it? 5 runs, 3 runs, 4 runs. So like we need more of that offense. I don't want them to call up Bryce Eldridge and all of a sudden he's expected to be the hero of the season. That's too much.
No.
You know what I mean?
But I feel you. I do. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't want that. Like, I want him to come up and play footloose and fancy free, buddy, and just go swing.
Shout out Kenny Loggins too for talking footloose. You got to shout out the greatness of Loggins. Giving you footloose because now I got to cut loose. Bam, 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 bam. What a riff. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah.
Remember we talked about wedding songs, and like that is probably my number 1 request at a wedding is the footloose.
The number 1 request. What? Footloose?
The song Footloose. Because remember Kevin Bacon coming down the stairs into the dance, and he goes, "Let's dance!" And dude, come on, man, Bacon for life.
I'll tell you one thing right now.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Bacon, known as Ren McCormick in Footloose. Okay,
Ren.
Yeah, driving the Volkswagen Bug.
Dude, pulling into the parking lot, listening to "Bang Your Head," bro. I'm like, I love this kid. I love Kevin Bacon, dude. Tony, maybe one of the funniest sequences in the history of American cinema.
Yeah,
Bacon in Footloose. He's buckling under the pressure. He's got problems with his girl. You know, their parents are mad at him. You can't dance in his town. That's a big problem for Kevin Bacon. He's got to dance. So, dude, what does he do? He goes to like some old warehouse or a barn, dude. Starts smoking butts and doing like gymnastics, like swinging.
Dude, he's jumping off crates and he's like doing cartwheels over crates and stuff.
And he's like, he's like jumping off crates and like posing, like you know what I mean? Like
he's stacking up pallets, dude, and he's like sweating. You see the sweat like bouncing off of his head in the
flash dance, dude. Like the girl with flash dance. It's just flying, and he's smoking butts at the same time, dude. He's firing out butts. Yeah.
Meanwhile, you got a very, very angry, stern John Lithgow as the minister of the town, saying you are not allowed to dance in this town.
I got to tell you something about Lithgow, Tony. He gave me the creeps in that movie. He kind of scared me. I'm like, this guy's got serious issues, Lithgow. And then finally, shout out to Chris Penn, dude, the late Chris Penn. Dude, he's driving, tractor, chicken. Okay, Tony, 2 tractors driving towards each other, playing
Trivia, Paulie, what song is playing during the chicken? During the tractor chicken?
I don't know. Flat out.
I don't know. Unfortunate. It's Holding Out for a Hero, Bonnie Tyler. It's okay.
Yeah. You know what? I might need to go watch Footloose again with a big J and just relax and enjoy the comedy. Yeah.
Get in, like dive. Everybody, PMP Army, get in. You'll be so stoked you did after the fact. And don't do the remake. Don't even sniff the remake. Go to the original and enjoy.
You know, they do that a lot, and it never, ever, ever works. Did you? First of all, they remade Amityville Horror. Nobody asked them to, but they did. They remade my favorite Nicolas Cage film of all time, Valley Girl. Nobody asked them to. Leave the first one's a classic, dude. Leave that shit alone. In any case, Tony, that's I don't know how we got on a bacon. Finish with your numerical, but I'm glad we did. Finish your numerical. I'm
just saying, dude, that this is not sustainable to keep expecting to win ball games, averaging 2.6 runs a game offensively, and also the Giants are 4th in the National League in strikeouts. By the way, the San Diego Padres, they're 2nd in all of baseball. They don't strike out. They have the 2nd fewest amount of strikouts in baseball. So, yeah, watch out for those Padres, man, down the stretch. Like, I agree. September is going to be a wild ride in the NL West, and the Giants are hitting as a team 229, dude. Like, they're only 10 points higher than the Rockies. Again, I love that they're 1 game out of first. I love that they're 38-28. That they're doing this with the pitching, but that is not, you can't expect this to last the entire season. The pitching's going to crack at some point. It's just a law of averages. You're right. It will. And by the way, I got frustrated last night. I was actually watching some of the Yankees Red Sox game on ESPN, and what happens? Goldschmidt's out there mashing. I'm like, God damn it. We could have had this guy. He could be wearing a freaking Giant hat right now, but instead he's in the Bronx. That really upset me. I don't know, just rubbed me the wrong way last night. And I'm looking at the standings right now, Tony. I will say this. What would you have said on it for real? No BS right here. If I came up to you at Longbridge on opening day and I was like, hey, Tony, on June 9th, do you think the Dodgers will be 1 game out of first place behind the Dodgers? Seriously, what would you have said? I would say I don't know if I agree with that, Paulie, and that's what I'm saying. I'm too polite. I would have been like, dude, you're out of your effing mind. If he says like, I'm not sure about that, Paulie, but that's much more polite than I would have been. Yeah. I definitely, like I'm saying, that's like I'm thrilled at where they are in the NL West, but the Dodgers are gonna go on a tear. The Giants need to be prepared for that tear. They also need to produce more runs. It's just that simple. Adames down to, like, he was down to 195 over the weekend. I meant to check his average before the show, but he was, if he's still under 200, that's unacceptable, dude. Like, that's just unacceptable. We can't have Willie freaking Adames, the guy they brought in here for his bat, to be hitting a $193, dude. He's hitting, I don't know, some 93. Dude, and he's making big money, and he's a big name, and he's supposed to come in here and help. And you're right, he really hasn't. It's been extremely frustrating. Now, Tony, I like robots. Sorry, real quick. First of all, big money goes around the world. First of all, number 1, and then number 2, Robot Centaur. Hell yeah, dude! Trade Verlander, Adames for better bats. I'm down with that. I'm totally down with that. I like Verlander and I like Adames. Remember, we've heard how many times have we heard that he's a good guy and a good clubhouse guy? I don't give a shit right now if he's a good guy. I don't care. Dude, good guys are a dime a dozen. You're a good guy. Robot Centaur is a good guy. Don Peralta's a good guy. Can you hit? That's my question. I'll take a bad guy. I'll take an a-hole right now that can hit 285 with 30 home runs. I'm serious too. You know what I mean? Like, nobody had anyway, don't get me going on that. Good guy, nice guy. Tony, I got to take a step back because you said something that kind of touched the nerve with me a minute ago when I asked you. No, it's good. I said, what would you have said if I asked you the Giants are going to be a game out in June, blah, blah, blah? And you were like, I don't know about that. But I will say the reality, this is you. You're like, I will say now I'm thrilled. And when you said that, I feel like I have to pause the show for a couple of different reasons. One, I got to shout out John Bender in Breakfast Club, because when the principal is giving him weekend after weekend after weekend, and he's like, what can I, he's like, I got to check my calendar beyond that. I don't know if I'm available. And he goes, well, that's good, because you're going to be with me for the rest of your natural born life. And then Bender comes in. What can I say? I'm thrilled. Yeah. What can I say? I'm thrilled. And then Tony, also musical thrills. Thrill is gone. BB King, Jerry Garcia covered that as well. And then, of course, AC/DC, Shoot to Thrill. If you've got a thrill song, Thrill Kill Cult, throw them on the pile too. Well, no, I'll just give you the entire album, Michael Jackson Thriller. Okay. What else do you need? No, right? not much. Everyone wants to talk about Beat It and the song Thriller and Billie Jean. I want to talk about Human Nature. I want to talk about PYT, Pretty Young Thing. I want to talk about Wanna Be Starting Something. Mama Say Mama Sama Makusa. Like that album is just start to finish Let it drop the needle on it and walk away, and you don't have to come back for at least an hour.
I actually am a big fan of the song "Beat It." I really like the song.
Oh, yeah.
I like what Eddie Van Halen did. That was like, I mean, Van Halen was at a peak at that point.
Mhm.
And did you know that actually Eddie Van Halen playing on that song was kind of the beginning of the end of Van Halen, like unraveling with David Lee Roth? Because like David Lee, I'll never forget this. Like, he put the solo on the song. In fact, from what I understand, Tony, Eddie Van Halen kind of rearranged the song. He was like, "Hey, Mike, you might want to move this verse over here, and then we'll take this bridge." He did. He like had a hand in writing that song, actually. And after he put the guitar solo on the record, they asked David Lee Roth about it. They're like, "Hey, Dave, what do you think of Eddie's solo on Beat It?" And he goes, "Well," he's like, "I don't think it's that big a deal. He went down there and he played the exact same solo he's been playing with us for the last 10 years. Then I understand that kind of pissed off Eddie. Eddie got pissed at that. And that was kind of the beginning of shit falling apart for the original Van Halen. Anyway.
Interesting. Wow. That album, especially, it was such a monumental time in my childhood. And I remember the Thriller dance moves were big. My sister, shout out Bridget, she was in the talent show in school, and all of her friends learned the Thriller dance move. Remember that, you know?
Totally.
And they reenacted the whole dance, the whole music video with Ola Ray. Remember Ola Ray was the actress in the video?
Nice.
And
the girl he takes to the movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So much is going on right now. First of all, Ray Goodman's a super. Jeff Winkler's dropping bombs. First of all, yeah, Eddie, man, dude. Yeah, he did. Yeah, didn't get paid a cent. He didn't take any money for that. Yeah, and if he Quincy Jones walked, because you know, and this just tells you all you need to know about Eddie Van Halen. For real. Yeah. I'm not kidding, as a human being. When he went down there to play, he thought it would be like embarrassing or bad manners if he asked for like a payment for that solo. And then he could have gotten royalties on that record for his entire life. And sadly, he passed away. But he decided to forego the payment, and he didn't get any royalties. So Ray, you're right. I mean, that's kind of he could have made a lot of money off of that. By the way, Jeff Winkler checking in. Winks. He's going, "Hey, Paulie Mac, the album behind you, Black Sabbath Sabotage, has a great track on there called Thrill of It All."
Yes.
Thank you, Winks. Hello. Yeah. That's a community at work right there. Everybody's got to pitch in and help us get down the street. Anyway, Tony, back to your Giants numbers. I've totally derailed that. It's my bad.
No, dude. Those are the numbers. They scored 56 runs in these last 21 games, and they've given up 53. That, if you're going to continue on that pace, that's averaging 2.6 runs a game you're scoring. Thank God the pitching staff has been lights out, dude. I mean, like I told you, those ERAs, man. Robbie Ray, and this is without Harrison, hopefully on his way back, who pitches tomorrow in Colorado. I'm kind of worried about that game, actually. It's not the best situation for Harrison to be going to Colorado and thinking, because he got lit up last time he pitched, Harrison did. And so I'm a little worried about tomorrow's game. I want him to keep the ball down, dude. Keep that ball down.
I know he likes that high fastball too. A lot of guys swing and miss at that, but you're right. I got to tell you too, it might be it's one of my least favorite places to watch a game on TV. I just don't like, because dude, you could be winning 7-1 in the 8th inning, and that game is still in jeopardy because you cannot trust the ball in Colorado with the way it carries and stuff. So I always get uptight in Colorado. I don't care who's pitching. It's always a problem. Yeah.
Don't get Dwayne Kuiper started on Coors Field and playing baseball in Colorado, because he doesn't just dislike it, he loathes it, man. And he's made it known, like, this isn't baseball. What are we doing? And especially you can get Kruko talking about it too, about how being a pitcher in that ballpark, you have to pitch differently than you would pitch in any other ballpark. It's really wild. And so that's why I'm a little worried about Harrison tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. Giants have won. They've won 5 straight, and I'm not complaining. I'm just pointing out that this is where they are, and it's not sustainable. They have a team ERA of 3.04. They have guys in the bullpen that are just dealing. They have 3 starters that are dealing, and it's not going to hold up. They need more run production. Well, maybe I would love to see a trade for a bat. I really would.
Sorry, T. Sorry, man. I know I said whoever put that up earlier, Robot Center, I think Adames and Verlander for a bat. Yes, I'm in on that too. I would gladly do that. And by the way, Tony, I got some numbers for you now, my friend. Check this out.
Crunch.
Your Colorado Rockies, Creative Tony's Rockies. Okay. Let me just give you the wins and losses and the winning percentage, bro. I'm actually starting to feel bad. We got to go on a mission of mercy and maybe save these people. Colorado Rockies, 12 and 53. Okay. 12 and 53. They have a winning percentage of 185, bro. And they are 26 and a half games out. 26 and a half games out in June. This might be, they could easily set a record this year for the worst in the history of MLB if this continues. I've never seen anything like this.
Hey, Paulie, guess who's hitting only 10 points higher than that 12-win Rocky team?
Oh, no.
Our Giants.
Jesus Christ. Well, that just speaks to the pitching again.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But I'm saying you cannot stick around at 229 much longer. You got to get this up. You got to be better with runners in scoring position and runners on base. It's just, and I again, I'm not complaining. I'm very glad that they're in the NL West 1 game out. It's so fantastic. I got some cocky ass Dodger fans, not Max Medina, other Dodger fans that are in my orbit, dude, that like to just talk a lot of smack. And I'm like, I guarantee you, if you would ask Dodger fans on opening day at Longbridge, hey, do you think the Giants would be 1 game back on June 9th? They would have said, go F yourself. We're going to be 10 games up. You know what I mean? They're so cocky about that team. That's why I really, really hope that they just have a nice.
Yeah. It's a really easy team to dislike. I don't like anything about this Dodger team. Not a single thing about them. This might be my least favorite era of Dodger base in my entire life, and I've seen some crazy shit. I grew up watching the Garvey, Ron Say, Bill Russell, Davey Lopes Dodgers. These guys, to me, I hate these guys more. And I want to make a quick comment to my friend Winks. Hey, Winks, I feel the same way. Tony just shouted out his friend Max, who's a big Dodger fan, and how like he's not like those other Dodger fans. That's how I feel about Winks with the New York Giants. He's like a hardcore New York Giants football fan, but he's not like those other dudes we grew up with who were just like, whoa, Big Blue, dude. It's like, dude, shut the F up for 5 seconds with Big Blue. But anyway, Winks was never like that either.
Did Winks ever paint his face or paint his any body paint or face paint? Come on, Winks ever? I don't think so. I doubt it.
No body paint. And by the way, another loose end I got to put together real quick because you shouted out the Last Dive Bar earlier in the show. Our good friends over at the Last Dive Bar, they do a lot of great stuff. Check them out. Follow them on Twitter. They're really good.
They're great.
Well, if you start now, Winks, I'll come right at you. I wouldn't do that. I just was paying you a compliment. Now he's going to try and taunt me because, we'll get no paint. I wanted to shout out Last Dive Bar. Tony, those are the guys that sent me the shirt, too.
Nice.
Shirt. So I forgot to mention that earlier today. So shout out to those guys as well.
I also want to give Mark Graves some love. Look he just gifted a PMP VIP membership. Mark, you're very generous, brother, and thank you so much. You've been a super today, and now you're gifting memberships, man. Thank you, dude. That's just,
thanks. Yeah. Can I call? Hey, Mark. By the way, do you mind if I call you Gravy? Are you cool with me calling you Gravy? The New York
or can we call him Mark Children of the Graves?
Oh, it's even better, bro. Dude, revolution in their eyes. The children start to march. You know what I'm saying, bro? Yeah. I mean, love comes flowing through. Children of the Grave rules. New York Rangers.
What I say.
Oh, dude, if you want a better place to live in, spread the word today. Yeah. Tell the world that love is still the way. We must be brave. Because if you don't, we're all going to be children of the grave. It's actually a peace song. It's like a protest song.
Exactly.
Yeah. And thank you. I want to say Mark Graves. I'm calling you Gravy now because we had a guy in the New York Rangers, Adam Graves, who also was an Edmonton Oiler for Pib Ford. Yep, there it is right there. Shout out to Adam Graves. And all the guys called him Gravy. So I'm going to call our Gravy as well. Tony, go ahead.
Super late sports flash, totally old news, but we're gonna go with it.
Yeah.
Jaire Alexander, the Packers are gonna release him, Paulie. I need to get your take on this because Vegas has the odds. Shout out Coach Yak on Twitter. I saw him tweet this earlier that he said that the Vegas has placed the odds as the Niners as the landing spot for this DB from the Packers. 7 years with the Packers.
Don't want him,
dude.
I don't want him.
Here, I'll give you one stat and tells me I don't want him either. Since the start of 2021 season, he's only played 34 of 68 possible games.
That's that. I'm tired of that kind of shit, guys. They sign, they can't play. I don't need it. I don't. Give me a guy who's going to be on the field. I don't need all the fanfare that goes along with this guy. I don't think his numbers are. Pine Needle going deep now on the. I don't even know if Winks, my buddy, knows about this. Pine Needle, throw him up there. Hi, Paulie Phil Sims here. So great. Check this out, Winks. I don't even know if I ever told you this. Maybe I did. I don't know. When I was on the Murph and Mac show during the pandemic, okay, we were broadcasting out of our homes, in my home, where my children play with their toys. Anyway, little Al Pacino Godfather for you right now. In my home, when they're trying to assassinate him up in Lake Tahoe, he goes, in my home, where my children come to play with their toys. Anyway, when I was doing the show from home, Murph, I don't know how he did. I think he was working with Chuck, P1 Chuck Acquisto on this one. They got a hold of Phil Sims because I hate Sims's guts, dude. Hate him. Ever since that Monday night game in 1990 when he got in Ronnie's face, you want to get in Ronnie Lott's face? Okay, good luck with that. But anyway, yeah. Have a good time. Have a good time with that. They got Phil Sims to send me like one of those cameo things. They told Phil Sims I'm a huge fan, and they gave him some information. And he was like, "Hi, Paulie, Phil Sims here. Hey, I understand you're from Mountain Lakes, New Jersey.
And Paulie,
I'm in Compton Lakes." I'm like, dude, I don't. It was like it was really funny. It really caught me off guard. Yeah.
But the funny thing about that voicemail that he leaves is that like pure joy he's speaking with. Hey, Paulie, Phil Sims here. Like he's
because they told him I was a huge fan. They're like, dude, yeah.
It's the best. We got to get that audio. I'm going to call Murph today and get that audio because it's still in house at the station. So I got to get that audio.
By the way, true story, Tony. I'm not making this up. I'm pretty sure right after that happened, somehow the word got back to Phil Sims that it was like a prank and that I'm not a fan at all. And shortly after that, he pulled himself off Cameo. He stopped. Yeah. She might be back now because it was like 5 years ago. But dude, I'll never forget the morning they sprung that on me, bro. I was like, oh my God, man, that caught me so off guard. It was really funny,
hey,
bro.
Paulie, by the way, Pine Needle, thank you for the super, dude. And I love that you just poke the Phil Sims bear. I love it. I'm gonna get that audio. We'll play it on the show. But Paulie,
if you really want to be a pal, Tony, do me a favor. Get me like let me think of another giant who I couldn't stand. Why don't you do this? Get me a cameo on my birthday from Phil McConkey. Remember McConkey waving? Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't need any McConkey, but anyway, you can get me a cameo McConkey.
How about a Mark Bavaro?
Oh, you mean Rambo?
Yeah.
That's what they used to call him. I don't know if you remember that. They used to call him Rambo. Yeah.
Right here, Rambo.
Actually, I've heard he's a pretty good dude. I've heard he's like a good guy, but no, back in the day, he was a problem, dude. I
feel like most tight ends are good dudes. Honestly, I really do feel that way. Like, name me a prick of a tight end. Go. I can't.
Let me think about this. That's actually a good question. I'm going to take some thought, and you guys help out too. Mark Graves, Gravy is fine. I have an identical brother. Friends in high school would call us by our last name. Yeah, of course. It's a great last name, dude. Enjoy it. Fly the flag. Gravy's in the house. And thank you, Mark Graves.
Totally. Yeah, Mark, you're on fire. Thank you, brother. But Paulie, I want to do this John Joseph Carrot Top cameo incoming, Paulie. Nice. I want to do, Paulie, I got to do some. I need to enter the Al Davis confessional, and I need you to guide me along here, Paulie, because you're gonna hate this.
Okay.
But I found myself over the weekend thinking it would be kind of cool if Rodgers went in and like was successful for Mike Tomlin's sake, not for Aaron Rodgers' sake, but for Mike Tomlin's sake, because I'm a Mike Tomlin fan.
I have too,
and so I'm conflicted. Because I want to root for Tomlin because I always have, and there's something about the city of Pittsburgh that has always drawn me in. I've never been there, but there's just something about it. Like it just seems like a blue collar town. That's my vibe. But now Rodgers in the mix at Pittsburgh, and I'm like, I found myself thinking, God, if he goes in there and wins 11 games or whatever, I'm not going to be bummed.
Stop right there. Do you actually expect that or think he can do that? Can he quarterback that team to an 11-win season?
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, possibly. Like, I'm rooting for Tomlin. It's just, because now I feel like either I just got to get off the Tomlin bandwagon and say F you Steelers because of Rodgers, or I got to say F you Rodgers, I'm rooting for Tomlin, and I'm conflicted, and I need some guidance in the confessional.
I have to say, well, my guidance is this basically. I mean, like, I'm not even going to do the Al Davis voice because you brought up Aaron Rodgers, and I can't even riff. I dislike him so much. But I will say this: I'm shocked that they did this. I really am shocked. It kind of goes against everything the Pittsburgh Steelers stand for and represent. Like, they are the model of stability in the NFL. They're all about stability. They're all about consistency. They don't jerk coaches in and out of the head coaching spot. Once they pick a guy, they ride with that guy for decades, literally. And this makes no sense to me, really, because first of all, I don't know what Rodgers has left at this point, just to be told. He did not look good at all last year. And I know the Jets, whatever, say what you want to about the Jets, but I thought, hey, in particular, Aaron Rodgers did not look good. He's a finger pointer. You didn't do your job. It's never his fault. It's always somebody else's fault. He's got problems with his coaches. He's got problems with his players everywhere he goes. So the fact that the Pittsburgh has chosen to kind of contaminate their locker room with this is really shocking to me. Tony, I respectfully would say I don't think he is going to win 11 games. I'm not even so sure he'll survive the whole season. Honestly,
it's going to be interesting to see how the dynamic of DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers working together on the same offense. Because I promise you, if Rodgers doesn't get Metcalf the ball, then you're going to get a pissed off DK Metcalf, and then it could be shambles from there. Well,
I wanted to make a quick shout out to Tony, and forgive me, I don't remember who posted this because it went flying by like 5 minutes ago. But when you asked that question, Tony, you were like, hey, can you name a tight end who is a D-bag? I mean, give me one. I did see one. It was pretty good. Somebody put Chamora's name up there. Remember him with the Packers? Yeah, because he was in the hot tub with those high school girls and shit. Like, what are you doing, man? So that's a good one. But I want some more. Give me more, like, obnoxious tight ends.
This Freiermuth for Pittsburgh. You haven't heard anything bad about him. He's a good tight end. The guy from what is it, Tanyan for Green Bay. Yeah, I don't know. I had him in fantasy football. I followed his career last year. It didn't seem like a D-bag at all.
It's a very good point, actually, you're making. Yeah.
Here's Sanchi. Sanchi coming late to the show. What's up, Sanchi? Way late, but wanted to say props to Paulie and Ray for Water Bar and to the broads of PMP for welcoming a dude into their scene. Shout out, waiting on a friend. Sounded beautiful.
I really appreciate that. And Sanchi, I was shouting you out earlier in the show. I did a big rap about you specifically because I enjoyed our conversation. Sanchi rolled in around set break, and he was just talking about how much he loves the community that we've kind of formed here, and how we're all kind of in this together, and that the vibe is always really strong on the chat board during the show. Sanchi, I feel the same way. And he also talked a lot about the Grateful Dead and like the community they have, and like growing up in Stinson Beach. So Sanchi, great to meet you. Great to see you. And thanks so much for coming out and being a super today on the show. I do appreciate that. It was great to chat with you, bro.
Nice, Sanchi. I love it. Sanchi, also, we talked about your video that you sent me or sent us, pauliespod@gmail.com, of Sasquatch doing Careless Whisper.
That's great.
First second of it. Thank you for sending in that video, brother. Paulie, I think I've come to a conclusion that I'm just going to have to write off the Steelers and Mike Tomlin this year. I think, for the sake of cohesion of the show alone, or maybe it's better if I go Rodgers and I start wearing a Rodgers jersey on the Steeler jersey on the show.
I think that might be the only time I would ever get physical with you, Tony, because I might just tear it literally right off your body. I might just tear it right off your body, or come at you with a pair of scissors and cut it off your body. I can't have that. I can't have you repping Rodgers in any point in time, past, present, or future. I can't have that.
Hey, Paulie, before we get to the bracket to wrap the show, I also wanted to tell you, do you know why Aaron Rodgers picks the number 8? Did you see in the show Enigma?
Oh, dude, what is this BS about? Well, that's like infinity, man. It just keeps going, It's like a circle, never ending. It's like, dude, shut up. Go eat your mushrooms and jump in the freaking river. I don't want to hear. Remember, he's lying in the river at one point. He's like lying in a stream. Yeah. I'm like, listen. Listen, Dennis McNally was on the show last night. He called me a hippie. I took that as a total compliment. I think Aaron Rodgers is a wannabe hippie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he wants to be considered that way, but he's too much of an asshole to be considered a hippie. Sorry for the harsh language. I don't know you kiddies out there. Yeah.
No, I hear you, man. It's just it stinks because I was really psyched way back in the day when he was a Cal Bear and then he went to the NFL, and I wanted
He
to
never
follow his
acknowledges Cal.
I
I'm from
know.
Cook County College or whatever. It's like his whole thing is about being a dick. You know what I mean? Like he's built his whole rep on being a dick. I just don't like it. And he's always like, there's never accountability with him. Never.
Doesn't it bum you out though doesn't it bum you out though that he's a Steeler? Because don't you like I've always pulled for the Steelers just as like an AFC team that I like to follow and root for. And now I got to turn my back on them because of him. It's
shout out Paul Servino when he's got to cut Ray Liotta loose at the end of Goodfellas. Now I got to turn my back on you. And by the way, when he says that, best thing ever is he's cooking sausages in the frying pan. In a frying pan while he's cutting off Liotta. Now I got to turn my back on you. Pardon me.
How about in that movie, dude, the razor blade shaving of garlic in the jail cell.
Liquefies in the pan, Tony. Yeah.
I mean, I since I saw that years and years ago, that is how I do my garlic, is those thin little strips of garlic. Once you do that way, it's hard to have it any other way.
A little olive oil in the pan, you drop the strips in and it liquefies. I got to tell you what, when I saw Goodfellas the first time, I think I saw that with Rags actually in the movie theater. I'm pretty sure we saw that together, Rags. That when they were in jail, dude, they're having like these huge meals. They're cooking steaks. They got wine, the fresh bread and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, jail doesn't look that bad. If you're in the mafia, it's like a pretty good way to hang out. You just get to hang out with your friends and have great meals for a couple of years. Yeah.
I just saw this. I just had looked up the Steelers schedule. Maybe there is, maybe this is all just BS about Rodgers and it's just a PR stunt. Guess who the Steelers open up against week 1 of the NFL?
Yeah, I saw that. Green Bay.
No, the Jets. They're at the Jets week 1. And it's like,
do you have the Steelers schedule up right now?
I'm looking at it right now. The Steelers schedule is,
I think they're playing the Packers too, aren't they?
They play they're at the Jets September 7th. And then looking if they play the Packers Sunday Night Football, October 26th. They play the Packers. They host the Packers. So I mean, again, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Who knows what kind of shenanigans are going on behind the scenes? So I if there's one professional league that I will always question their motives and question what's going on behind the scenes, it's the NFL. I love football. I grew up a Niner fan. I grew up at Candlestick on Sunday. What it's become is just Goodell's just let it just become I don't know, like the WWF, WWE, and it's just I don't know.
I mean, the fact that the refs are basically have formed like a protective wall around Patrick Mahomes so that Goodell can say, we have the greatest quarterback in the history of the game. That is such a load of S. By the way, right now in the NFL, I could probably think about 3, 4, 5 different quarterbacks I would take before I even looked at Mahomes. Start with Joe Burrow. I'll take Burrow right now, dude. Right freaking now. I'll take the kid from the Chargers. There's so many great quarterbacks out there right now in the NFL, and all we hear about is Mahomes. And the other thing about that last thing, it's not even football season. My blood pressure skyrockets when I talk about the Chiefs, but the guy has never effing been hit. And when he finally got hit in the Super Bowl from Philly, look what happened. He couldn't survive the 4 quarters and they lost. Same thing happened when they lost to the Bucs in the Super Bowl. They were knocking his ass down to the ground all day. And that was another L. So I feel like Joe Montana used to get his head handed to him every Sunday. He would get his ass kicked, and he never complained. He just got back up and found a way to beat you in the 4th quarter. I don't think Mahomes could survive a season of that kind of physical abuse that those quarterbacks took back in those days. And I think listen, we all want players to be safe, and we don't wish injury on anybody. But at the same time, Tony, it's football. You're going to get hit at some point. That's the nature of the game. And the fact that they've really kind of taken a lot of that away feels, to your point, not as authentically. It's just not authentic football anymore. It's like mutating into some other kind of thing now.
Like you, Paulie, I'm not a violent person. I don't want violence anywhere around me. But when you have a guy that dangles the carrot in front of these defensive players, and he does his little tippy toe down the sideline. He does his little
flop. Hit me so I can flop.
And then he runs and runs and runs, and then like a fake dive slide then he knows the refs will have his back
because the defender's going to try to make a play and hit him. Yeah.
At some point, somebody is going to knock him into another universe, and it's not going to be good. if he continues to play the game this way. Like Ronnie Lott always said, sometimes you got to take a 15. I promise you, there's going to be a player out there. I don't know who it will be. That's just going to say, F it. I'm going to go clean this guy's clock, and I'll take the flag. I'll take the ejection if I have to, but I got to clean this guy's clock, you know?
I do, Tony. I feel the same way. I feel the same. Hey, Dub City, underrated scene from Goodfellas when De Niro's trying to lure Leota's wife into that. Yeah, the alley to build. Yes, at the end, De Niro with those glasses on. Here's what you're gonna do. We got some beautiful coats right down the street, right in the corner. Go down there. Go down. Just go down there. Take anything you like. And she goes, where? Over here? And she's like walking down the street. And he goes, yeah. Go in there, right in there. And she looks in. There's like these two, three, like really intimidating looking dudes, like moving boxes and shit. And she's like, I gotta go see my mom. I'll come back later. He's like, no. Go in there. Go. They're gonna whack her in there. Dub City, great call. And thank you very much.
Call. It's such a great call, man. Oh God, dude. I love that Goodfellas, man. Of course, I love Godfather, right? It's like the top of the mountain is the Godfather, but right below it is Goodfellas, in my opinion, dude, because that movie is just incredible in the acting. Leota and the whole, and Pesci, dude, look at Pesci's body of work. And everybody talks about De Niro and Pacino. We got to get Pesci into that conversation more often.
Pesci's phenomenal, man.
Right.
Top of my head, I would say Joe Pesci in Raging Bull is so real and authentic. It's unfreaking believable. Like it really is. Both those guys, that whole movie, Raging Bull,
dude,
one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, and Pesci in Casino is incredible.
Nicky. Stabbing the guy with the pen. Stabbing the guy in the throat with his pen. He goes, "This your pen? No, it's a nice pen." I just thought, and he bam, he's popping him with the pen.
Yep.
And then also, I gotta say, for real, dude, I'm glad you mentioned Joe Pesci, Tony. A lot of people don't like this movie because it's too long, but I feel I don't mind a really long movie if it's good. It's the same way, like I don't mind Bruce Springsteen playing 3 hours, 4 hours. If it's a good show, keep playing. Great.
Right.
But some people don't like that. They think it should be tighter. But Joe Pesci's role in The Irishman, I thought was phenomenal. Yep. Phenomenal. He might have won. Did he win an Academy Award for that? He might have. I don't remember.
I can't remember, but I remember you and I sat in the theater at like noon and for all 3 hours watched that movie, and it was fantastic.
It's an amazing film. And it's really, really, really long. But but if you like Scorsese, Pacino, Pesci, like Tony said, and all those guys, De Niro, I think it's a really, really solid piece of work. All right, Tony, we should probably get into the brackets.
Before we get into the brackets, I just want to mention one other scene in Casino that deserves a ton of love is the desert scene when Pesci goes out to meet De Niro in the desert. Yeah. And that scene is incredible. I can't repeat what they say to each other, but that scene is incredible. And the cinematography actually starts out with De Niro's glasses.
That's Scorsese.
The reflection of Pesci's car driving into the desert to meet him is on De Niro's glass. I mean, you want to talk about like artistic prowess, dude. I'm just incredible.
And he always does cool shit like that. Scorsese's been doing shit. And famously, the other scene that he got a lot of fanfare and applause for was in Goodfellas when Ray Liotta and Dr. Melfi, I still call her Dr. Melfi, Lorraine Bracco, they walk into the Copacabana, like through the kitchen, and then they walk in, they're saying hi to everybody down the hall. Like that's all one shot. There's no edits. It's like, and it just goes on and on and on. And the guys are coming over with the tape. Like it's masterful. It really is. It's masterful filmmaking. Because that's one long consecutive shot. It's amazing. It really is.
That is freaking incredible. And hold on, Paulie. We're gonna do this. For the bummer bracket, part whatever.
Part two or whatever. Yeah. Right. That's a fashionable thing to say now. Part two. Yeah.
I don't know what part it is, but we're going back to the bracket because we got to pick up the pace here because we're going game 3 in Indiana on Wednesday. So we're going to pick up the pace on this bracket before we wrap our Monday show.
Hey, Tony, sorry, I apologize. I just got one more thing to throw out there. I should have said this earlier, and then we'll go right to I promise. This is 5 seconds. Last thing on Joe Pesci. I don't know how many people know this because this is pretty cool. The guy who played Phil Leotardo, Frank Vincent, in The Sopranos, he also has Scorsese used him a lot too. That's the guy who winds up killing Joe Pesci with the baseball bats at the end of Casino. That guy, Frank Vincent and Joe Pesci, before they got into the movies, they used to do a nightclub act together.
Dude,
you believe that? Yeah, they did. They're from New Jersey, and they used to do like a nightclub act. I think Frank Vincent was a drummer.
Wow.
And Pesci was, I think he sang, dude. I think he was like a vocalist. So anyway, look into that. It's pretty wild. Frank Vincent and Joe Pesci doing a musical thing early in their 20s. Sorry, go ahead.
Did they have like a name, or was it just Pesci and Vincent? Or
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up, but that's a good question. Probably, yeah.
We'll look it up. But as we ponder that portion of pop culture history, we're going to go into the bummer bracket, and we're going to go down to the inventions of Oklahoma, things that were invented in Oklahoma, and famous people that were from Oklahoma, and the same thing for Indiana. Okay, so we're in the Oklahoma corner of the bracket right now. This shopping cart, Paulie, was invented in Oklahoma, but so was the parking meter. Which wins in this matchup? The parking meter or the shopping cart?
Well, immediately I got to say shopping cart for a variety of reasons. I mean, who likes a parking meter? You know what I mean? Like if it was up to me, I'd abolish them for life. I mean, now you go to San Francisco, dude, you better have like $20 in change if you think you're going to park for 20 minutes. Dude, I think a quarter used to get you like a half hour. I think a quarter gives you like 5 minutes now.
Yeah, quarter.
So, you got to have like you got to rob a bank to park your car in San Francisco. So F parking meters. To me, this is an easy reverse slam dunk. I'm going shopping cart, bro.
Can I just play devil's advocate for a moment and say that without parking meters, people would just park there for, as long as they wanted, and then parking spaces wouldn't free up. Does that change?
Sorry, I didn't realize you started working with the man now. Tony's joined the establishment. I see. Okay, I'll be the renegade punk rock hippie guy out here. Tony's now siding with the authorities, and he's like, yeah, parking meters are great. I love them. Hey, Tony, maybe we should raise the rates even more. How about $1 for 5 minutes? Would that make you happy?
Oh, dude, I think $1 for 5 minutes would be cheap nowadays. But Paulie, I'm with you. If I had to choose between the two, I would choose shopping cart as well.
Let me give you a strange but true story of parking meters that involves myself and Creative Tony. Here it comes. True story. True effing story. One of the low points of my life. Tony and I, when we were working over at KMBR, when we used to be on Hawthorne Lane, those were the good old days, bro. That's when KMBR was a freaking juggernaut. And we were working over there, and we used to go over to Chinatown and have lunch a lot. So we used to go over to Henry's Hunan on Sacramento. I want to say it's on Sacramento.
Yes, there was one on Natoma and one on Sacramento. We would frequent both.
And Tony and I would do this a lot. We would go like every week or every couple of weeks, and it's great food, by the way. If you've never tried Henry's Hunan, please get down there and enjoy. It's amazing. The meat pie Tony turned me on to, the freaking orange chicken. Tony, the string beans with the spicy pork. Oh my God.
Incredible menu. And seriously, and say hello to Frank when you walk into the one on Natoma. Say hello to Frank.
Something very reliable about Hunan. When you go in there, Tony, every single time I eat at Hunan, I usually buy the same dishes because I love them so much. Yep. And the I think is it the green beans and the pork? So one of the dishes has a lot of spice. It might be the orange chicken. I don't know.
No, it's the green beans and pork. Green beans and pork had a lot of spice.
Yep. Okay, Tony, when I eat that, I start sweating like I'm playing basketball, and it happens every single time I go. Like it looks like I just played like a hockey game, man. I'm like eating my chicken, I'm like sweat is pouring down, and it's so good. Okay, so Tony and I go to lunch at Hunan on Sacramento, and that is not an easy neighborhood to park in, man, at all. No. So I see a freaking meter over there, and it's one of those loading meters, like where you get like 30 minutes or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, we'll be fine. And we used to do it all the time. We would like park in the wrong spots all the effing time. So we're eating lunch, and then we walk out, Tony and I together. My car's gone. It's gone. And I go, oh, dude, somebody stole my fucking car. Like I thought it was like somebody just stole my car. I can't believe this. What am I going to do? I had like a million thoughts going through my head, and then I was like, oh no. And we look at the meter and we're like, oh, this is for like loading. It's a loading zone or whatever. Dude, they towed my effing car. So you and your parking meters have caused me a great deal of distress. I was just trying to have some Hunan like a gentleman. Now I got to go down to the impound yard and pay them to spring my car. Remember that? We went down there. I think we took a cab or something. I don't know.
100%. And my brain immediately went to City Tow and that big lot underneath the freeway where they take all the towed cars and put them in there and wait for people to just come in with their tail between their legs,
What
say,
a racket.
"Where's my car?" Oh, hey.
You got to pay on top of the ticket
Oh.
you just got. You got to pay like a few $100 for
Yes.
the towing and then to have them release the car. So yeah, that was a freaking nightmare, man.
And by the way, can I just say, shopping cart's going to advance in this matchup, but can I just say, everybody, when you are shopping, do not leave your shopping cart in your parking stall. Please return it to the area designated for shopping carts in the middle of the parking lot, or if you're kind enough, walk it all the way back to the front of the store and help the people out of the fine establishment and put the shopping cart back in line. I can't stand it. It's one of my biggest pet peeves of society when people just are so lazy that they can't just bring the shopping cart back to one of the two different areas. So please represent the PMP army and just do the right thing and return the shopping cart to its designated area.
Please, like Tony said, please, a passionate please. Pretty please with sugar on top. Clean the effing car. All right,
Exactly.
Tony. Yeah, totally, man. All right, let's go. So what's up next?
All right. Dude, now the steel electric guitar invented in Oklahoma, not the electric guitar, but the steel electric guitar, and the yield sign for traffic. Both invented. And I'd say the yield sign is a very important traffic sign that a lot of people don't even know how to what's the word I'm going to
obey it, honor it.
Obey it. Honor it, obey it. It blows my mind that people don't understand what yield means. So anyways, yield sign versus the steel electric guitar.
Well, it's a great category, and both have pros and cons. I got to tell you, you're right, Tony. I'm a big yield sign fan myself. I'm a big obeyer of the yield. That might be my most lawful thing I do is I always respect the yield sign because you don't have the right of way. If you go through the yield sign, somebody hits you, it's your fault. So I got to always be cool with the yield sign. Plus, I got the Pearl Jam album, Yield. Pearl Jam, Yield. I had it up last week. Had it on my shelf last week. Great record. Tony hates it, but I like it. Tony doesn't like Yield at all. Yeah. I said that last week. I'm like, Yield. He's like, this one's better. That one's better. This one's better. I'm like, dude, Yield freaking rules. I got Faithful. I got Brain of Jay. Dude, Brain of Jay. Come see me. You got a problem with Brain of Jay. You got a problem with the whole show.
Dude, Yield rules. It's Rod Brooks' favorite album. It's Rod Brooks' favorite Pearl Jam album. I thoroughly enjoy the album. There are albums I enjoy more. That's all. So back to the matchup.
Sorry for this interruption. Special announcement, Tony. I don't want this to get away before I say before it's got. Here it is right there. We don't need your thinking badges. Great idea. How about we have a weekly Tony Top 3 special segment called Tony's Pet Peeves? I like it.
Dude, I just told my wife Megan yesterday. We were driving and the light turns green and she goes, "Oh, the light's green." And I go, I know. Are we in a rush to get to the next red light? Because the light ahead of us was red. And she goes,
we're going to floor it and stop about a quarter mile down the street at the next red light. Yeah.
And I go, "God, you want to talk about pet peeves?" She goes, "Oh, I didn't know we were talking about pet peeves."
Okay, well, see, that might be the first installment right there. We can explore that. And by the way, I never even talked about the steel electric guitar. I love that. Without those, I mean, that's a big instrument played in the blues. A lot of great blues players. I know Joe Perry's played one on a couple of their blues numbers with Aerosmith, and I love the steel guitar. I'm going to actually say I'm a musical kind of kid, so I'm going to say the electric steel guitar will advance because I love the blues and I love that whole sound.
I would say, Paulie, I agree with you. If it was the merge sign, then I might have a different conversation with you because I feel like that's probably the most important sign in traffic is the merge sign. Also, people don't know how to merge in traffic.
Right.
People, anyway, so I agree with you. Steel electric guitar is moving on. I didn't know we would have that heated of a discussion about the yield sign, but I really enjoyed that.
I did too. It was really good for all of us. Informative, educational. I like to think we all became better people from that. So go ahead, T.
People. Learn how to merge, learn how to yield, and put your shopping carts back where they belong.
That's right.
Moving on. See, there's a lot of PSAs that come along with the bracket, which is a great thing. Boy Scouts was invented in Oklahoma. The Boy Scouts, but also the Ditch Witch. And I don't know if you know what the Ditch Witch is, but it's a construction tool, basically a big excavating machine that was developed in Oklahoma. Boy Scouts or the Ditch witch.
I don't know how to respond to this, really. I don't know what the ditch witch is going to do for me in my life, or is it going to hurt me, help me? I don't know. And then meanwhile, the Boy Scouts honor with the 3 fingers, whatever their little salute is they do, and they got the, they're wearing a handkerchief around their necks. They got socks on with shorts. I don't know. I don't know how to respond. I'm gonna default. I'm kicking this over to you, Tony. You represent us on this vote. I truly don't know what to say about either. So go ahead.
I think that I am going to go with I don't know either, because I never was a Boy Scout.
Sorry, Tony. John Joseph. I'm more of a steam shovel guy myself. Yeah. You take it, T. I don't know what to say about this.
I'm going because I was never a Boy Scout and I've never used a ditch witch, but I'm going with the chat line here. The PMP Army gangsters vote for ditch witch, says Mark Graves. I roll with the witches, Sanchi says. Yeah. I've got Winkler says he's going Boy Scouts.
Well, I gotta say, too, now that you said that, now my brain is thinking in a whole different way. Shout out Rush Moving Pictures Witch Hunt. Okay, dude. Witch Hunt. Yeah.
Okay.
How about Season of the Witch? Donovan must be the season of the witch. Yeah, I think I'm going witch now, based on all the great witch musical songs. Yeah.
Also, there's a great band called I think they're called All Them Witches, and they're from the South, but like a heavy, not metal, but like a psychedelic rock band out of the South. I think they're called All Them Witches.
There's another band, Tony. This is a metal band called Angel Witch. Okay, Angel. I swear to God, Angel Witch. Look them up. Yeah, look, Angel Witch. Anyway, so make the vote for the show, T.
Yes, it is All Them Witches, and they are from. I just want to make sure. Oh, they're from Nashville. That's right. They're from Nashville. All Them Witches. Anyways, moving on. Ditch Witch moves on. I'm sorry, Boy Scouts, but Ditch Witch moves on. It's a very important piece of machinery in just the movement of society. So now we're moving on to the voicemail, the actual voicemail, leaving your voicemail, leaving a recorded message for somebody on the phone. The voicemail was invented in Oklahoma, but so was the pressurized flight suit. So pressurized flight suit. I know where I'm going on this, buddy, but you tell me where you're going.
I mean, again, I don't think I'm ever going to have a need for a pressurized flight suit personally. So I'm thinking, like, how do these things impact me in my daily, day-to-day life and existence on this planet? I probably got to go voicemail just based on the, just the necessity of it. Like, you miss a call, you get I don't know. This is a weird category. I think I'll go voicemail just by default. I don't know. How about you?
Definitely voicemail. I without voicemail, I'd be screwed because I'm not the greatest. I'm not the greatest texter. Yeah. I'm not the greatest caller. But if you leave me a voicemail, you have a good shot of getting me getting back to you because I can go and listen to it. And in the moment, when I get a text, my first thought is always like I'm usually doing something else. And I'm like, I'll make sure to respond to that in when I have a moment. And then, of course, that moment is long gone. So I'm voicemail all the way. Plus, you can have fun with voicemail too, right? You can get whimsical. You can do what Phil Simms did, left you a nice voicemail on Cameo, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, George Costanza's voicemail is incredible. Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. I may be out. Where could I be?
It's actually a really good point you're making. Back in the day of the answering machine, Rags and Winks. I don't know if you guys remember this. Maybe this will ring a bell. I had for a time my answering machine at home in the 90s. I had no speaking. There were no words on it. All it was is when you called my place, and if I wasn't there, I had the chorus of Electric Avenue by Eddie Grant playing. We gonna rock down to Electric Avenue. And that was it. So that was fun. That really confused a lot of people that I just had Electric Avenue. No, hi, this is Paulie. Nothing, just Electric Avenue.
And by the way, Paulie, I do want to recognize that I know my deficiency as a texter needs to get better. So I will, maybe it should be my New Year's resolution in June of 2025. That I'll be a better texter because I'm reminded often that I text you, I don't hear back. I got to get better at it. I will work on that. I will dig deep. I will work on myself. I'll get better. Be better. I'll be better.
You shout out to the Who. You better you bet. Okay, Tony, we're gonna do that, and also shout out Pearl Jam. Better Man. We don't have time to keep going, but I'll give you those two. Tony, here's what we're gonna do: executive decision time. I want to stop right now because I don't want to do the names. That's like an hour's worth of riffing. But the two I'm looking at: Guthrie versus Pitt. Dude,
okay.
I got about an hour on each one, so let's not do
Then
this.
hold on, then I'm going to make an executive decision that we're going to fly through the inventions of Indiana right now, and then we'll do famous people tomorrow. Okay,
That's fine. This is going to be a speed round, though. We got to go speed round.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like Speed Brick. Remember JT the Brick? Speed Brick. I love JT the Brick, man. I'm a huge
I like
JT the
JT
Brick.
too. He's a good guy, dude. Dude, Speed Brick.
Dude, he used to do Speed Brick. I loved it. It was great.
I remember that. Well, we're doing Speed Brick right now. Shout out JT. He's a good dude.
We're not doing Speed Brick. We're doing Speed Bracket, Paulie. So these are inventions from Indiana. Okay, the gas pump and the Coca-Cola bottle. When you get the old Coca-Cola with actual natural cane sugar, not corn syrup, in those Coca-Cola bottles. Coca-Cola bottle or gas pump?
Coke bottle. Easy.
Wow.
Easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
This is a tough one. Next one's a tough one. The breathalyzer, which, by the way, when it was invented, it was called the drunkometer, right? It's called the drunkometer, the breathalyzer, or Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread. Wonder Bread. Go.
Wonder Bread. I agree. Okay, now the rear view mirror.
By the way, can I make an off-color joke? No, I probably shouldn't. I kind of want to, though. And it's against my own people because I'm Irish and Italian, and I have like a good Italian joke. I shouldn't say it, though. Because somebody.
Go ahead.
All right.
Well,
I better not. But again, like I am one, so I feel like I can attack my own if I, you know what I mean? Like have that kind of approach to comedy.
Right. I got you.
But no, let's not do that. I'm just gonna say Wonder Bread. I mean, who hasn't had a PB&J on Wonder Bread like as a kid? Like it was the greatest thing of all time. It's nothing but preservatives and all kinds of weird shit like you've never heard of, chemicals. If you read the back of the Wonder Bread bag, you won't recognize a single word in that bread. It's crazy. Like they make it in a laboratory. Yeah.
Dude, shout out Chevy Chase eating a Wonder Bread sandwich in vacation and using it as like a prop with Christine Brinkley. Okay, yeah.
Dude, I still don't know what that means. And then Tony hitting himself in the face with the sandwich. Yeah. And then he opens the bread. That's still one of my favorite moments. I'm like, what's he saying right there? Just by opening. Yeah.
Wonder Bread has to advance, of course, right? Yeah. So now rear view mirror or tomato juice. I'm gonna well, you go ahead.
Okay. Wait, I'm sorry. We're doing the rear view mirror and tomato juice?
Yes. The rear view mirror versus tomato juice.
I mean, listen, you can't have a Bloody Mary without tomato juice, right? And then on the other hand, without the rear view mirror, you don't get the Pearl Jam song with the great jam in the middle. One of my favorite Pearl Jam songs, because when they play rear view mirror, they do this massive jam in the middle of that song. Sometimes can keep going and going. So, and plus,
go ahead. Go.
Well, last thing, I was going to say, plus you can't really drive without one. Like you depend on that thing. So I'm going rear view mirror. That's my vote.
I was going to say rear view mirror gets my vote too, because how many times has rear view mirror saved your ass when you finally like see that cop in the rear view mirror?
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, I got to slow down. Okay, I got to hands on the wheel. I got to get it together. Right. Yeah. There's been many times like, oh, okay. So, anyways, rear view mirror advances. Okay, rear view mirror. Sorry, tomato juice. But there's other juices to contend with that might be better. So sorry.
See, look at these matchups, bro. That's the problem. These are going to be. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Last invention. These are inventions from Indiana. This is our Indiana-Oklahoma bummer bracket as the finals continue. Game 3 is on Wednesday. Cruise control invented in Indiana versus the transistor radio.
Already have an answer. It's going to be the transistor radio. I never use cruise control. I don't even put it on.
You are missing out, dude. You are missing out. Get on a road trip. Put it in cruise and just chill.
Okay.
I mean, dude, like if you're driving to like Arizona, which I actually love that drive to Scottsdale from here, you get into the desert, man.
Let me just interrupt you and ask you a quick question. Can cruise control play me a Giants game on the radio? Can it do that?
No.
Can cruise control? Can I hear Casey and the Sunshine Band, Kiss, Aerosmith, and Earth, Wind, and Fire all on KFRC in the 70s as a kid when Dr. Don Rose was dropping science? I'm telling you right now. That's all thanks to the transistor radio. Cruise control is like a luxury for the wealthy and the elite. Like Tony, he's an elitist, so he likes to use cruise control because he flies up at that level. You know, he's a big money guy, and he's like stepping on the gas is way too difficult and taxing physically. So I got to put the cruise. I'm going transistor radio, Tony. Right. And
I got to shout out my dad who still has a transistor radio in the bathroom. Yeah. In his bathroom, he has a transistor radio, and also
I got one in my kitchen right now. Got one in my kitchen.
Beautiful. And also, public service announcement, like number 7 of today's bracket. everybody should have a transistor radio, because if the world goes to hell in a handbasket, the only way to transmit messages would be on a transistor radio.
100% correct.
And
100%.
on the AM band.
Yep.
So, Paulie, I remember, not to get dark, but just real quick as we wrap, on 9/11, I had to work 9/11 at KMBR. When all that was going down, they said, Bob Agnew, our former boss, called me and said, you are contractually obligated as a radio employee to come into work today, and we are no longer a sports radio station today. We are an emergency broadcast alert system. You will report to work, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, holy shit, wow, okay. So get your transistor radios. Have a transistor radio, even if it's one of those crank ones. Those crank ones are pretty sweet. So anyways, get the transistor radio. That's my PSA. Go.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony. I got no problem with anything you said. Okay, we will update the brackets, and then tomorrow we'll move into the really juicy categories, because there's some incredible matchups when it comes to noteworthy and famous people from each state. I got a lot to say about all of them. So good place to put Tony, if I could, good place to put a pin in it. Right, T? We'll put a pin. That's all I need, dude. That's all I need. He's seconds away from opening the bread, and the slap, dude. The slap, both sides. I think it's both sides. Yeah. Look at him right there, bro. That might be his finest moment. As a comedian is the bread scene, and it probably improv it too. I bet you he just made that shit up.
Oh, it's just gold, man. So anyways, I just had to get that on the show before we wrap today, Paulie.
So the final thing, I was going to say, the only thing that could have made that scene better is if he had 2 slices of pizza from Longbridge that he was opening or hitting himself in the face with. Yeah. So anyway, Longbridge Pizza, our first sponsor. We love you guys, man. You know that. Neil Denardi, the whole crew down there, Andre, they're all rocking and rolling on a daily basis, except today. They are closed on Monday. But every other day, you can get on down there, enjoy the Vibe Trap, have some of their killer food with the sourdough crust. The pizzas are very specific. I saw Lily Merchant made a comment earlier. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't Lily. It was Karen. It was Karen Bell. Karen Bell said that she went to Longbridge after the gig. I did a water bar on Saturday, and she bought the dough. She took some of the sourdough dough home. So, yeah, more and more people are starting to do that. Buy that sourdough that they sell and then bring it home. You can make your own pizza. Karen, nice move. You're a gangster too. So get on down there, 2347 3rd Street in Dogpatch. We talk about the food all the time. Neil Denardi, again, one of our guys. He is a South City kid, and he treats you like family when you walk in there. I say, try the Polymac pie. Again, I'm also partial to the Nico pie. That's one he named after his son, Nico. And Tony's a big fan of this. I'll let you speak to the Caesar salad, because you like to talk about that with your son, Dom, who's a big Caesar salad kid. He might grow up to be a chef, dude. If he's got that kind of exotic taste already. For a lot of kids don't like Caesar salad because it's it's just different. It's so different. But anyway, it's a good sign, Dom, that he likes that already. So you take a tea, and then we're going to we'll dismiss the class.
He loves a Caesar salad. The only Caesar salad better than Longbridge's, in his opinion, is the Iron Gate Caesar salad, and he likes to get the anchovies on the salad too. So, Longbridge Pizza, yes, their pizza's fantastic. Their salads are fantastic. Their beers are fantastic. You have a great selection of locally craft beers on tap at Longbridge Pizza, and you can order in or do takeout or delivery, and then you can also do private parties or groups and events, and they also do catering too. They'll cater events as well. And now, last time we saw Neil, he was on his way out to go cater an event in Oakland, and so they're for hire to cater events. You can go with a group. I'm bringing my son Dom's Little League team to the Giants Day game next week with my other coaches Gary and Mark, and we're going to go to Longbridge first, and then we're going to go to the ballpark. It's going to be a great day, so you can do that for your groups too. And finally, Paulie, on the way out, they also offer gluten-free pizzas for those of you that need gluten-free menu items. Here is Ray, Noemi's better half, who was on stage with you on Saturday.
Ray Goodman, he was drumming, he was singing, he was doing it all. Nice work on Waiting on a Friend. Nice work on Unknown Legend by Neil Young too.
You played Unknown Legend?
Sure I do, Tony. Nice. Sure I do.
That's a great one. But here's some picture of the pizza porn from Ray when they went to Longbridge after the water bar. There it is. That's a mushroom gluten-free pie right there. And there's also Paulie's stash with all the spices. You can ask for it. That box of spices is behind the counter. Just ask for Paulie's stash, and they'll hook you up with any of those different spices. But there's some pizza porn for you right there.
I was just starting to think too, maybe since I have Paulie's stash, maybe we should start doing other community members maybe should have their own menus on the like just hidden stuff, like the secret menu of In-N-Out. We could have like we could extend the secret menu. Like maybe we could have like a Rags ragu or something like that, like a ragu sauce. Rags is ragu, but you got to ask for it. Like Tony's tomatoes, you know what I mean? Creative Tony's tomatoes, stuff like that. Like it's all under the counter. You got to know the lay of the land to ask for the Pauly stash. So do that when you go on in there.
I'd like some PMP pesto, possibly. Maybe some PMP.
Yeah, right.
Pesto.
Stuff like that. Ragusa totally winks. All right, you guys, let's bring in Diamond Dave to dismiss. And by the way, we will talk Diamond Dave Lee Roth tomorrow because he's in the brackets and he's got to go hand to hand with Axl Rose. That's going to be a serious matchup right there. I have a lot to say about each. I'm sure you do too. We've seen. Thank you, Jeff Bridges. Thank you, Dom Peralta, for the inspiration and the vision and all the artwork that you contribute to the show. All the merch, by the way, just for those who don't know, if you're new to the show, all that merch that we have available for you guys. And it was so great, Tony, when people came to the gig Saturday, for multiple people were wearing that shirt. I was like, wow, that's really cool, man. But that's all Dom Peralta's artwork. He's the man. So thank you, Dom, and all the stickers and everything. It all comes from Dom's, the vision of Dom Peralta, our outstanding and talented art director. Yeah, the top 3. I mean, it's all right there. Yeah.
This is maybe some of his finest work, Raymond Ritter. The Raymond Ritter vest to be retired at a later date.
And it will be. And it will. I hope to be one of the guys pulling the rope when we raise it up to the freaking banner, because Raymond is, I don't have enough time to say enough good things about Raymond, but he is amazing, that dude. So Tony, give me some Diamond Dave if you could.
Before I give you Diamond Dave, I just want to remind everybody, please like and subscribe at YouTube. Spread the word about the show, Polymax Particles on YouTube. And also, if you are looking for the audio versions of the show, Polymax Particles on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, tune in. Also, we have the playlist, Pauly's PMP Playlist 25. Search PMP Playlist 25 on Spotify and Apple Music. You can get our weekly musical assignment. And that's actually flowing, man. I just listened to that over the weekend again.
I did too. I listened over the weekend too. I thought of you when I heard New York Groove. I was like, Tony likes this one. And then, dude, once I got down to the end, when I heard like Wanted Man, I was like, damn, that final the 4 tracks we both picked last week, if I may say so myself, outstanding, bro. Yours were really strong. I like the ones I threw on there too. And it's funny. I was listening also. Yeah.
So check those out. And also, if you'd like to email the show, please do, because you guys are always providing content and we love it and we want to share it. We want it to be like reciprocal vibes. paulyspod@gmail.com.
And one final note, just for the community, and I wanted to say congratulations to Escobar III for winning those Metallica tickets. And again, condolences, brother. I'm sorry about your grandfather. I've been through it. I know it ain't easy, but hopefully the Metallica show is going to lift your spirits a little bit, and I bet it will. I really do. I bet it will. Okay, I guess Dave is ready now. Probably.
Dave is ready now.
All right. Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I waited, Tony. See, I'm getting better. That
was good. I actually didn't wait. I apologize.
I did. Reciprocity in my face. All right, Creative Tony, thanks for all you do. Much love over there. Dom, Joe Schmo, Noemi, Karen Bell, John Joseph, Rags, Mark Graves, on and on it goes. Robot Centaur, you know what I'm talking about. Sanchi, Winks, all you guys. We love all of you. We really do. We love each and every one of you. Thanks so much for supporting the show. We will be back tomorrow, 12 noon. The brackets continue. Hey, Pib Ford, me and you, Edmonton Oilers, let's go. Let's go tonight. I'll be watching. Yes.
You said 12 noon for tomorrow. Is that a typo, or are we 11 a.m. tomorrow or 12 noon tomorrow?
No, that was totally my brain damage at work once again. No, we're going to be on at 11 o'clock. Believe me, I don't even know what I'm doing half the day or what I'm saying half the time either. There is a significant amount of brain damage up there. A lot of brain cells went bye-bye over the years. So we're doing what we can to get through it. But again, 11 a.m. tomorrow. Nice. And we appreciate it. We'll see you then, everybody. Peace. Enjoy your Monday. Go Edmonton. See you, T.
Shout out Brain Damage Eclipse.